Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sarel van Grenen, aka Mr. VG, and we are going to look at some of the more difficult equations with fractions. So when we look at equations with fractions in them, it is something like x over 3 minus 2 equal to 4. Now, I want to explore this with you by actually looking at the way that you would have handled fractions if it was not an equation. So in other words, if I, for instance, had a half plus 1/3, how would you have handled this sum? Please tell me. You would have gotten the LCD. Well, that's exactly what we are going to do. So let's start by guessing. I'm guessing the answer must be 15. Okay? Not necessarily that it's right, but it should be close to 15. I want a big answer so that if I divide it by 3, subtract 2, it gets close to 4. Now, I know it's not the 100% right answer, but it's going to be close. So when we look at this, remember, now we've got a new goal. Before we get to our goal of getting x alone, I've got to get rid of the fraction. So starting with the sum, I'm going to go and get the LCD on both sides. So what is my LCD? My lowest common denominator is 3. So I'm going to put both left-hand side and right-hand side on my LCD. So x minus 6 over 3 is equal to 12 over 3. Why do I do this, ladies and gentlemen? So that I can multiply by my LCD left and right, and the LCD fall away. And this is going to happen every single time. So I'm going to be left with x minus 6 being 12. And this leaves me with a normal, straightforward linear equation where I'm going to add 6 on both sides, so x is 18. Was it close to my answer? Well, not so close, but I'm not too concerned about that. That x is equal to 18. Let's look at this next one. X over 2 plus x over 3 equal to 10. Now, I already took a guess of being 12. Why? Because 12 is divisible by 2 and by 3. Okay, not saying it's going to be right, but let's have a look. Step by step. What is our goal? I want to get rid of the fractions. How do I do that? I put on the LCD. So what is my LCD at this stage? My LCD is 6. So I'm going to put everything over 6. Both left-hand side and right-hand side. Why? Because then I can multiply by 6 both sides and the denominators cancel out. They divide away. So 5x must be 60. Divide by 5 on both sides. X is 12. Oh man, that is exactly what I wanted. So ladies and gentlemen, whenever you see fractions, remember your LCD. Why do I do it this way? Because I don't want to teach new things to you. You've been doing LCDs for like 2, 3, 4 years. So just use your knowledge you already have and apply it to fractions. So you go and try and solve this one for me. Woo! 3 over something minus 4 must give me 0. Go for it, ladies and gentlemen. If I look at this, my guess is that x must be smaller than 1. Why is that? Because if I say 3 over something minus 4, I want to make that 3 over something bigger. So the only way to make it bigger is if x is smaller than 1. Now, if this doesn't make too much sense to you, please don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Just follow the maths by trying to get rid of the fractions. So what is my LCD now? My LCD is x. Okay? So if I times by x straight through in my denominators, I've got 3 minus 4x over x equal to 0 over x. I'm going to multiply by that x over 1 straight through so that they cancel out, leaving me with 3 minus 4x being 0. And I've already now added 4x on both sides, which means that I'm sitting with 3 equal to 4x, which gives me over 4 and over 4. So x is equal to 3 over 4. So ladies and gentlemen, let me just quickly explore this concept of why does x have to be smaller than 0 or smaller than 1? If I look at this, 3 divided by 3/4. Remember, I can tip and times or keep change flip, which is changing my dividing to a times. So 3 over 1 times by 4 over 3. 3 goes into 3 ones, leaving me with an answer of 4. So if I divide by something that is smaller than 1, it makes my 3 bigger. Interesting. If I divide by something smaller than 1, it makes my division larger. That is something to wrap your head around, hey? Because usually we think if we divide by something, we are making it smaller. But sometimes I can actually make it bigger if the thing that I'm dividing with is less than 1. If it's between 0 and 1, I can actually make it larger. That is weird, but really awesome. I hope that you enjoyed this, ladies and gentlemen, and you will tune in to our next video where we are going to do some exam practice. So keep well. This is Mr. VG signing out. Cheers.